All right, so we're going to look at creating a web page. And I thought I was going to sneeze there for a second. What I asked you to do is, you're working in WebStorm. I'm in Gogland, which is for Go programming, but they're very similar. And you right-clicked onto your directory. You created a folder on your computer somewhere. And then you right-clicked onto your directory. First, you created a folder on your computer. I'm just going to get it straight. So on my desktop, I created this folder, My Code. And then I went in here to Gogland. I said, Open Project. In WebStorm, it's very similar. You open a project, but I basically need to go find that folder. So I select that folder, hit Open. Now I don't have anything in there, but I could create new directories in there. So, one way to organize your code through a semester as you're learning something is just by date. And so today's date is that, 2017-08-15. So I create that folder. And then inside there, today when I'm doing work, I could create directories. So I could have my O1 directory. Right? And then inside my own O1 directory, I could create like index.html. So there's my index.html. It's an HTML5 file. There have been different versions of HTML. We're at HTML5. That's apparently the last version they're going to do, and they just think of it as a living document from this point forward. I don't know if that will change. So here's a basic HTML file. So HTML is made up of elements, HTML elements. Okay, and those elements are what make the web page. So there's HTML, which provides the structure of the web page. Okay, that's the structure. So this is like, hey, I want stuff here. I want a heading. I want some text. Formatting is going to be your CSS. So HTML is the structure, just to hold things in place. And the elements have different characteristics. Formatting is going to be the CSS. HTML is the structure. Formatting is the CSS. What's the difference between that? If I have a heading 1, hello, and I preview this, there it is, hello, and I could have some CSS right here, and I could say H1 color red. Okay, so there's some CSS, and now it's red. So CSS does the formatting, HTML does the structure. All right. HTML is made up of elements. Different elements have different meaning. They call this semantic HTML, semantics. If you look up what semantics means, it's basically meaning. Let's look up semantic. Relating to meaning in language or logic. So semantic HTML is related to meaning. So all of our tags have meaning. They should convey some meaning. Body, this is the body of your web page. HTML, here's the HTML code. Head, this is the head area of the web page. Head is different from header, which is different from main, the main part of the web page, which is different from footer. So notice I'm creating the structure of my web page. Hey man, here's the header, here's the main part, here's the footer, right? HTML is for structure. It's for putting our content into little boxes, and then we move those boxes around. Everything on a web page is a box. We put it into a box, we say where that box is going to be, and then we format and style that box with CSS and the stuff in it. But first, just to understand this basic HTML here on this first page, we have this first tag, doc type HTML. So this is the document declaration. So we're just telling computers, hey, this is an HTML document. And we say HTML, the language, and then we have the HTML element. So these are elements, they're known as elements, and you'll also say sometimes opening tag, closing tag, or HTML tag. Right? That's an opening tag. This is a closing tag. Okay, opening tag, closing tag. The closing tag has that /. So here's where it starts. The HTML starts there, and then it goes, and then it ends right there. Notice how there's a nesting. These two elements are nested inside the HTML element. There's the opening of the head and the closing of the head. And inside there, 2 elements are nested. There's the opening of the title, the closing of the title. There's the opening of the body, the closing of the body. The title is what goes up in the little bar. Right? See that? Like if I close some of this stuff. Get wide. There we go. All right, McLeod's site. That's the title. So this game is all about figuring out what little pieces do what and having them do it. And you just it's like learning a language. You're going to communicate. You got to learn what the word donut means in Spanish. If you want a donut in Mexico, you have to know that word to get that. You got to know title and what title does if you want to change that thing up there in the tag of the browser. So this is a basic web page. There's a quick shortcut for getting all of that. And I could just do an exclamation point and hit tab. And it fills a lot of that in for me and a little bit more. An exclamation point, tab. And that is Emmet. Emmet.io. So you'll learn some shortcuts so you don't have to write a lot of code over and over and over.
Exclamation point as well. Tab.
Tab. But right now you just have this. So you have the HTML and you have language is English. So you're saying what language it's in. And then you have your head area. And you have the character set. So the encoding is UTF-8. So it says there's different ways you could encode text. UTF-8 is the world's most popular encoding scheme. Come on in, Roy. We got 11. You want to cancel?
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Are you on the fence?
Actually, I'm just on the fence. You guys have 2 leaders. You guys can call some other people to come on in.
Hustle it up. We need 15, right? You like 15?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
11.
10, 11.
Oh, 12. Sweet.
Okay.
We're close. You got any friends who are interested, tell them to come. So that's the world's most popular encoding scheme. Title, we saw what that does. The head area is where it's like, hey, this is the header of the head of the document. It's not really what the user is going to see. This is everything we put what the user is going to see, the body of the web page. Okay? So I want you to create your first web page. I just want you to type in hello world and put something up here in the title area. And then just hit this. If you move your mouse up to the top right area in WebStorm, you'll see these little browser icons pop up. And you can just click one of them and it'll take you and show it to you in that browser. So create your hello world web page. Okay?